that sort of thing. I thought for something a little different, I'd do some ads from because on the Facebook page, I've been doing some ads and all that sort of stuff from various comics, and I thought, might as well put some on for video as well, or for uploading, or whatever the term wants to be. I could always do an 80's term, so this one's going to be the 80's, so I don't even think the term uploading would have been around back then, so put it up. Do it. All of it kind of sounds like a bit innuendo-ish. Let's just... Oh, there we go. Sink out of sight. S-I-N-K. So, without further ado, I did deliberately mispronounce that. So without further ado, I am going to have a couple of the games ads to show you. There's not going to be too many. I didn't really want to go bam, 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 bam with like about 500,000 of them. So it'll be about 8, I think. Be about 8. So anyway, dated on July 1984, we have Kool-Aid Man. And he's in pixel form rather than liquid, with his catchphrase being, "Oh yes." He was rather interesting thing. He had a bit of a run there from time to time. I think if you drank too much of him, he'd probably give you the runs. It wouldn't be too good. Breaking out from that wall with his little yellow thirsty things. Those tongues are a little lizard-like, aren't they? Now, this is a charmer from Taxan. Or Taxon, or sometimes it could be pronounced as Taxman. You know, could be something like that. This was actually for a competition back in December 1989. They held a competition with some amazing prizes. Being as 80's as they are, you could get yourself a portable CD player. I could just imagine. Actually, those were pretty bad at the time. They were really unreliable because being portable and the CD technology at the time, that's good, was not very good at all. I think they were trying to make it as the CD version of the Walkman, or there was a CD player actually, which was really quite bad because it would have the player, but the CD, a lot of the CD would still be on the outside. Very strange. And also with the fantastic prizes on offer, it makes me wonder who won. Who won, and does it still work? So next up is Mappyland. Now every time I kept looking at this, I kept reading it as Nappyland. So, you know, little pixelated diapers going along the screen. You know, obviously, yeah, my picture doesn't. Oh yeah, it was from, I think I said 1986. But one of the games I did notice, or because it says any other games, Fist of the North Star. Really? What would you do? You've got a North Star and you've got this. So there's your star. There's your fist. Ooh. That was the printer. So yeah, that's kind of weird, that one. So from February 1985, we've got the Mighty Crusaders. Now they're kind of interesting little lot there with their little figurines about yay big, very small. Now these were from Kmart, so you could trundle along to Kmart pre-flybys and that. You could trundle along to Kmart, get your little Mighty Crusader things, and go to the checkout and get yourself a bag that would probably fit, that you could have gotten from a chemist for a pill bag or something. They are quite small. Now the next one is a little number called Lock and Chase. Now that's so early 80's with the whole ad. There's a few ads like that have that same kind of clunky graphic to it. But in 1983, we thought that was so futuristic. That was just the most amazing thing. So in this instance, we've got Lock and Chase. The arcade game, I think, was from 1981, but this ad was dated 1983, so a bit of a time thing there. One of the other things I did notice, though, when looking at the ad, is how much the guy on the front looks like the Penguin, and maybe the one in the back is sort of representing Batman, and the one in the front is the Penguin. Yeah, who knows? And I think penultimately, well, actually, there's two that sort of like to deal with this particular one, is Dungeons and Dragons. It created such a stink back in 1985. There was all kinds of brouhaha about it and how it was infiltrating into young minds and all that kind of thing. There's a really big current affair thing about it. It just they really, yeah, it was extraordinary. Kids were interviewed, tell us about the effects on it, but we like playing it. And the outrage, the outraged people. You look long enough and you'll find somebody outraged to interview, shove a microphone under their noses and go, oh, I'm so outraged. But anyway, these ads come from March 1984 and November 1984. But I do remember the game sort of spanned into quite a while of that. But yeah, the game created quite a stir, and they just was a bit silly in the end. Yeah, and then you think of it compared to games of today, and it's kind of like, what a mountain out of a molehill that one was. But lastly, now some of the ads that you find in the comics just beg a belief, and this particular one is one of them. Yeah, right. We basically have a lovely green man. It's just a lovely shade of green. This is from May 1987. So we've kind of got, yeah, Mayday, Mayday. Mayday, Mayday with the green muscle man. So yes, you have a green muscle man searching for his big ugly balls, so he can chew them. So yeah, something like that. So what a way to go, eh? What a way to end, with a big green man wanting to chew his ugly balls. Yeah, and yeah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That's just a little précis. And these come from the Facebook pages. All of these have been on the Facebook page. I'm just going to kind of do little bits from time to time, just to in the hope and hopefully enjoyed it. Like as they say, or like as I say. Ciao. Oh, and by the way, these are some of the comics. I didn't mention that. These are some of the comics that I use to get these ads from. So as you can tell, there's a bit of a choice, but you'd be surprised actually, as there's all of these, and not many of them contain the games. I think they left that for the other magazines. So yes, every now and then a game would find its way into the back pages of a comic, which sounds a bit dubious. Anyway, I shall trundle, and hopefully enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. Keep forgetting to say that stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.